Hey guys, it's Tamara coming back at you with another video. So let's jump in and talk about tips on how to cope with traumatic stress. So we've been talking about stress and trauma for the past few days. Basically, the whole goal of our conversation is to highlight what most people are going to experience after a trauma and what mountains they're going to have to climb to try to recover and to learn all they can about themselves and their brain and their body. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to cope with trauma. I noticed over the past 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, that since the incidents in Florida, I believe the school is Parkside. It's a school where a young man opened fire and killed 17 kids and traumatized many more. Ever since that incident, I've been getting a lot of calls from parents. I have begun to get a lot of calls from adults as well, stating that their post-traumatic stress disorder has been re-triggered and that they're looking for somebody to kind of help them cope with it. So I'm going to give you 5 ways to cope with trauma, especially trauma that has been recurrent. In this video, I think the benefit to you is going to be that you're going to get a couple of tips on how to deal with it. I think it's important that we all talk about this. So I encourage you to add some comments in the comments section below. You can also go to my website, anchoredinKnowledge.com, or you can find me on Twitter at Therapist. If you have questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. All right, so let's jump right in. I wrote down a couple of things I want to mention, and I'm going to broaden them for you and kind of expand and expound so that you can get a little bit more understanding and knowledge of what I'm talking about. All right, so the first way I think to cope with recurrent trauma is to seek therapy if you're not already in therapy, okay? I encourage individual therapy or group therapy. I'm not a real group fan. I totally understand there's no confidentiality or there's very little. There's a lot of personalities, a lot of judgments that you're gonna have to deal with, a lot of opening up in front of others. I totally get that. So if that doesn't work for you, I encourage individual therapy. Both kinds of therapy, individual and group therapy, offer benefits. Individual therapy offers you that 1 hour just specifically for you and your therapist to go through things that you're going through in your mind and in your heart. Group therapy allows you to gain some knowledge from other people. It also allows you to tackle issues that you're struggling with in a group fashion, right? It's like teamwork, and that's if the group setting is not poisonous and toxic. So you want a group setting that's closed, number one, which means that people can't come and go. You also want a group therapeutic experience where everybody is equal and everybody understands how to respect one another, okay? So I encourage therapy. The second thing that I encourage is processing with a journal. One of the things I love to do with my adolescent clients is they either get a journal of their own or I give them a notebook and we journal to each other back and forth throughout the week. They process their emotions in that journal for the week until they come and see me. When they come and see me for a session, I take that journal and I go back and I write things down, I challenge thoughts, I answer questions, and we adult, you may not want to do that, or if you hate writing, but I do encourage you to journal in some fashion. Journal by talking into your phone recorder, right? Journal by getting a book or a notebook and just writing your thoughts down. You can also draw pictures, whatever it is. Processing your trauma through writing, art, music, dance is a wonderful way to get emotions out and also make sense of them as well. Okay, the third thing is skill build, and what I mean by that is build your skills for coping, build your skills for processing this, build your skills for communicating, right? You want to go to a therapist who can help you build the skills that you need to get through this trauma. If you can't build those skills, then you won't be able to get through what you're going through, right? Once you process your emotions and your thoughts, then that's when you want to add skill building to the situation as well, okay, or to the therapy, I should say. All right, the fourth thing is consider short-term meds. Now, I'm not a real big med pusher. I think meds can harm you if they are not given or distributed or administered correctly. They can also tire you out. They can also make you a zombie. So what I mean by short-term medication is talk to your PCP, talk to your psychiatrist, talk to your therapist and say, look, I'm not sleeping at night, I'm depressed and anxious. Is there anything mild that I could use to get through this? And sometimes there is. You know, you just have to talk to your doctor, communicate your fears. I don't want to be a zombie. I don't want to be drugged up. but I do need something to help me be okay through the day. I often communicate with my clients that medication is not the it-all, okay? You don't want to be on it for long term unless you really need to. What you want with medication is for it to give you a sturdy foundation so that you can stand up without feeling like you're dragging yourself along, okay? And once you feel that you're capable of handling things and you've got a grip on things, then that's when you need to talk to your doctor about titrating down or coming off the medication little by little, okay? The fourth thing is coaching or getting a mentor or a pastor or somebody with some knowledge of life and things to guide you. One of the things that I'm so grateful for is the wonderful Christian foundation that my mom has provided for me over the years. She is just my #1 biggest support, and she's the one that I can go to and talk to, and she gets my mind back on track where it needs to be. I also have that in my mentor. I've had my mentor now for almost 7 years, and he's wonderful. He helped me get through college, graduate school, you know, my internships, 10 years of education. So those are the two people that I rely on 100%, and I also rely on God as well, because I follow Christian principles in my own life. But what I encourage you to do is go to somebody who's spiritual, go to somebody who knows God, go to somebody who's a pastor or a mentor or a coach, and ask them to just coach you through it. Sometimes you don't need therapy to deal with recurrent symptoms. Sometimes you just need somebody who gets you, who can talk you through it. And I'm not talking about Susie over there. I'm talking about somebody who can really offer you some really firm tips and guidance, okay? All right, guys, so thanks so much for being with me today. I'm going to put all of my contact information at the end of the video, but if you want to come check me out, go to my website at anchoredinKnowledge.com. Go to my Twitter page, @TherapistT, if you want to contact me, you have a question. I encourage you to post comments in the comment section below. Stay tuned, because we're going to continue talking about trauma this month, and then after we talk about trauma, we're going to jump into compassion fatigue and burnout, so stay tuned for that coming up. If you want to learn more about my book, I'm going to post it in the description box below. Otherwise, guys, I will see you real soon, and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye, guys.